today to multiple meetings in one. We're going to start today and we're going to convene as three different bodies. We're going to start today convening as a local building authority of Salt Lake City. Then we're going to adjourn that meeting and move and convene as the Community Reinvestment Agency meeting. And then third, we're going to convene as the Salt Lake City Council meeting. So bear with me today as we switch through those agendas. So welcome today to the June 10th, 2025 formal meeting agenda. And I am Alejandro Puya, will be conducting this meeting today. We're happy to have you here, whether in person or joining us online. We hope that you continue to participate in whichever manner you feel most comfortable. I would like to highlight that in addition to our business tonight as the City Council, as I mentioned to you, we're going to convene as three different bodies. Now we're going to move to item A2, which is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now moving on the agenda, item B1 as the local building authority. We are now on LBA potential action item B1 regarding a resolution budget for the capital project fund of the local building authority for fiscal year 2025-2026. I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board approve a resolution adopting the final budget of the fiscal year 2025-26 of the Capital Projects Fund of the Local Building Authority.
Second.
I have a motion by Dan Dugan and a second by Councilmember Wharton. Any discussion on this item? Okay, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion passes unanimously with one council member absent. Now we're going to adjourn, and this concludes the LBA business, the local building authority meeting business. I look for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn as the local building authority of Salt Lake City and reconvene as the Community Reinvestment Agency.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Wharton and a second by Councilmember Dugan. Any discussion? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously with one council member absent. Now we are convened as the Community Reinvestment Agency meeting. Now we are on item D1, and this is a potential action item, resolution for the budget for the Community Reinvestment Agency of Salt Lake City for fiscal year 2025-2026. I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the board adopt a resolution approving the fiscal year 2026 CRA budget reflected in the attached key changes spreadsheet.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Mano and a second by Board Member Dugan. Any discussion on this item? Okay, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, this motion carries unanimously with one council member absent. Now we are going to adjourn as the CRA board meeting, and we're going to convene as the Salt Lake City Council. I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adjourn as the Community Redevelopment Agency of Salt Lake and convene as the Salt Lake City Council.
Second.
I have a motion by Board Member Wharton and a second by Board Member Mano. Any discussion? All of those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously with one board member absent. Now we are convened as the Salt Lake City Council meeting, and bear with us, this is a process that is important and we need to go through all the agenda items and the different entities. So now I want to thank everybody that is here in person. Also highlight that this meeting allows for public comment, and I want to ensure that the rules are stated for everybody's benefit. We want everybody to feel welcome in this space. A respectful and safe environment allow us to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient way. Our most basic rule is that any action that causes disruption to our ability to conduct the meeting or any safety concern involving threats or unprotected speech are not allowed. These actions or comments may result in removal from the meeting. As a reminder to our public comments registration process, individuals may register to comment on scheduled public hearing items until the hearing is closed. for those wishing to comment on the general comment section time, we will accept sign-ups until 7:30 p.m. The general comment section is limited to a maximum of 1 hour and will only include commenters who register before 7:30 p.m. So if you're here to give general comments, please sign up, and remember that it is possible that not everybody who sign up may be able to speak. Our next item, which is F2, is for the council to consider adopting a joint ceremonial resolution with Mayor Mendenhall recognizing June 19th, 2025 as Juneteenth Freedom Day in Salt Lake City, and I will read the resolution. This is the joint resolution recognizing Juneteenth Freedom Day in Salt Lake City. Whereas President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation effective January 1st, 1863, declaring that all enslaved people in Confederate States be henceforward free. However, many enslavers in the South continue to ignore this order. And whereas on June 19, 1865, more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Union General Gordon Granger, with thousands of Union soldiers, including U.S. Colonel Troop, arrived in Galveston, Texas, and issued Order General Number 3, officially enforcing the emancipation of stolen Africans and some indigenous people still held in human bondage in Texas. And whereas President Lincoln acknowledged in 1865 that without the military help of the black freedmen, the war against the South could not have been won. And whereas Juneteenth is one of the oldest nationally celebrated commemorations of the ending of slavery in the United States, with the first official celebration taking place in Texas in 1866, and was established as a federal holiday in 2021 and recognized by the state of Utah in 2022. And whereas Juneteenth provides an opportunity for Salt Lake City to celebrate the heritage, resilience, and contributions of Black Americans, and to honor their central role on the ongoing struggle for justice, equality, and freedom, while also committing to do our part to help a more equitable community. And whereas Juneteenth also acknowledges America's commitment to liberty, equality, and in accordance to the Constitution of the United States, along with the Emancipation Proclamation and the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, which abolished slavery, ratified by Congress in December 6, 1865. And whereas even after the formal abolition of slavery, other systems of racial oppression, including sharecropping, Jim Crow laws, redlining, and mass incarceration, have continued to unjustly harm Black communities and perpetuate systemic inequities in health, safety, and education. And whereas honest acknowledgement of this history is essential to building a future rooted in the core American values of freedom, diversity, equity, liberty, and justice for all. And whereas both the federal government and the state of Utah now recognize Juneteenth as an official holiday, now therefore be resolved that the Salt Lake City Council and the Mayor of Salt Lake City recognize Juneteenth Freedom Day in Salt Lake City in celebration of the cultural, economic, and humanitarian role of emancipation and the work towards liberation in our past, present, and future. Be it further resolved that Salt Lake City reaffirms its commitment to freedom and dignity for all people and inequitably opposes and rejects all forms of oppression and injustice. I need a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt a joint ceremonial resolution with Mayor Mendenhall recognizing June 19th, 2025 as Juneteenth Freedom Day in Salt Lake City.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Dugan and a second by Councilmember Lopez Chavez. Is there any discussion on this? Okay. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously. I would like to welcome Barry Sauer, Executive Director of Project Success here, may not be present. Oh, okay. Success here with us today to receive the resolution. Thank you for being here. And if you would like to say a few words here, and then after that we can take a photo.
I don't have anything to say, but I appreciate the opportunity to get up here and speak. My name is Stacy Smith. I am the car show coordinator for the event this weekend, so I'm here.
Thank you. Come take a photo with us.
Okay.
We can sit with him. We'll take it up here. Here, man, take it up here. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it. Good to see you again. You're in the middle. Hold this. This one's mine, right? Because yours is on, cushion's on the bottom, okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. There is no scheduled public hearings today. There is potential action items, a section which is items H1 to H15 of the agenda, and they are associated with the implementation of the mayor's recommended budget for Salt Lake City, including the library fund for fiscal year 2025-2026. The council has truly appreciated the public interest, feedback, and involvement in this year's budget discussions. Input from the public is always invaluable in helping the council decide how to balance this budget. Council members, please refer to the motion sheets prepared by council staff as you make the motions, and we can start with that. I will need a motion. Okay.
Great, we ready? Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt an ordinance approving the budget for the Library Fund of Salt Lake City for fiscal year 25-26.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Lopez Chavez and a second by Councilmember Young. Any discussion on this? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously. Okay. Let's continue.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt an ordinance approving Salt Lake City's fiscal year 2025-26 budget as outlined in the attached key changes spreadsheets and staffing document, excluding the schedule for capital projects and debt and the library fund, including the contingent appropriations as listed on the motion sheet under motion number 2, items A and B.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Wharton and a second by Councilmember Dugan. Any discussion on this item? Okay, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously. Okay, I need another motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt an ordinance setting the final rate of tax levy, including the final levy for the library fund, upon all real and personal property within Salt Lake City made taxable by taxable by law for fiscal year 2025 through 26 as listed on the motion sheet, and authorize the council chair to sign the necessary documents for the State Tax Commission. The council has asked the attorney's office to work with the State Tax Commission and attorneys to review the recent tax advice regarding the library budget, understanding the new advice combining the library and city as one tax entity, to outline its impacts on both the library and city budgets and changes to policy oversight. A tax of 0.003180 on each dollar of taxable valuation, of which A 0.002130 shall be credited as revenue in the general fund, generating 108 $108,006,905 of ongoing revenue, and B 0.000011 shall be credited to the judgment levy for the general fund, a 1-year adjustment generating $579,167 of one-time revenue, and C, 0.000630 shall be credited as revenue in the library fund, generating $31,945,704 of ongoing revenue, and D, 0.000328 shall be credited towards the repayment of general obligation bonds, generating $16,634,258 of ongoing revenue, and E, 0.000081 shall be credited as revenue in the governmental immunity fund for tort liability, generating $4,107,305 of ongoing revenue.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Mano and a second by Councilmember Dugan. Is that rolled off the tongue, right? That motion was very easy to read. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, all of those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, this motion carries unanimously. I need another motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt $55,806,110 to be transferred into CIP, including approving $13,489,253 in funding as shown on the motion sheet. Later this year, the council will adopt CIP project-specific allocations.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Dugan and a second by Councilmember Young. Is there any discussion? I'm going to call the question. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously. And another motion?
I move that the council adopt the legislative intent statements as outlined on the motion sheet under motion 5, items 1 through 10.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Petro and a second by Councilmember Young. Is there any discussion on this? Seeing none, I'm going to call the question. All of those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously as well.
Mr. Chair, I move that the council adopt items A through K as shown on the motion sheet relating to the fiscal year 2025-26 budget, with the exception of item I, ordinance amending Title II Administrative Organization for the Sustainability Department, which will be deferred to a future meeting date.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Young and a second by Councilmember Petro. Any discussion on this item? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously as well. Thank you, all of you, for working through that, which concludes basically the budget for Salt Lake City. I hope we didn't screw up any of the motions. I'm sure we'll be told if we did. Thank you, all of those from the administration side, from the council staff that worked so hard to balance a tough budget. It's always a big mountain every year to move. So we're very thankful for the work that our staff and the city does to make this happen. Is there any comments? Okay, Councilmember Young.
I just want to take a quick moment. We have the amazing Salt Lake City financial team that's sitting here. And for those in the room, if you don't mind standing up so that we can just say thank you for all the work you do.
Any others? Can I move on the agenda items right now? Thank you for the incredible work. Now we're going to move to the comment section of the agenda. Are there any questions for the mayor or the mayor staff? Okay. Thank you, Rachel, Chief of Staff, for being here. Thank you for the work of the administration. Now, we're going to go to the section of comments to the City Council, and this is the general comment section for portion of the agenda. this section is limited to a maximum of 1 hour, and only those individuals who are registered to speak before 7:30 may be able to. Our meeting rules apply as they were stated earlier to avoid disruptions and threats. And if that happens, we may ask you to leave the meeting. Comments that include profanity, personal attacks, intimidation, or discriminatory language are not persuasive to or compelling to this council. They are not helpful to create a respectful or safe environment. To sign up to comment on right now, you can register online. You can also contact some of our council staff here to sign up to comment with one of the cards. The cards are organized in order of registration, and to make sure that everybody has a chance, we're limiting the public comment to 2 minutes, and every time that the 2-minute mark comes on, the word time will be said, and the microphone will be muted. So if you are unable to finish your comment, you can share the rest of your comment via email, mail, or you can also call our office. The contact information is listed at slccouncil.com. If you have a handout for the council, please notify council staff and they will assist you. Taylor, you may begin with our first general comment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have about 4 people registered to speak. The first will be Chanel Hill, followed by Scott Bates, and then Mark Horatsu. Chanel is here in person.
Hello, council members. Thank you again for your time. I want to take just a few minutes to explain why the Sex Offender Registry Violation Accountability Act is urgently needed right here in Salt Lake City. Right now, when a convicted sex offender violates the registry conditions by entering a school zone, park, or a daycare, it's a Class A misdemeanor in Utah. This means no felony, no mandatory prison time, just a fine or maybe a few months in jail. And then they're back out free to violate again. That's not justice. That is not safety. You were just handed a drafted bill that I am working with the House representatives to get passed. It is a 4-page bill, and it would reclassify registry violations as felonies with tougher charges when offenders enter protected areas, required mandatory minimums of 1 year in prison for their first violation and 3 years in prison for their second. Trigger public safety alerts within 48 hours of the violation to warn our communities. And it includes a support for reentry housing, therapy, and supervision for offenders who comply with the law. This is not about punishment, it's about prevention. Salt Lake City has over 3,500 registered sex offenders. We are proud to share that the Utah House representatives are here to back me up. We respectfully request a letter of support from your council members. You were sent an email yesterday. Let's make never again mean something. Thank you.
Next will be Scott Bates, followed by Mark Horasso, and then Abdurzik Ibrahim. Scott is here in person.
Good evening, council members. My name is Scott Bates. I represent the Clark and Christine Ivory Foundation, which is a stakeholder in the North Point annexation area. I'm here to express the Ivory Foundation's appreciation for the city's cooperation with the rezone in connection with this annexation process. This will enable the foundation to further its charitable mission. Thank you.
Next will be Mark Horasso, followed by Abdurzik Ibrahim, and then Licia Satini. Mark is here in person.
Hi, council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here to talk about the Hawk signal on Z as a follow-up to Tina's comments a few weeks ago. I'm a dad, a local pediatrician, and my family has called that community home for the last 3 years. We live in walking distance to the intersection. We love it, and it does not escape me that we're fortunate to have so much growth and improvement pouring into the area, so thank you. Nothing I will tell you today is different than what you've already heard from Tina and many, many other families that has been asking for change, but I almost got ran over twice this morning, once by a truck and then again by a car. Both decided to swerve around traffic that had stopped and then decided to speed through the intersection, almost running me and my 2-year-old son over. It's the same story every time. Some cars stop, others don't. This happens to us and many others on a weekly basis, and cars simply don't care, don't pay attention, and are going way too fast. It is disappointing that I even have to reiterate all this. We've sent emails, signed petitions, and I am worried that somebody is going to die. We've been going to this daycare for the last 2 years, and I've only seen it getting worse. Please do not wait for something catastrophic to happen. There are over 70 families that love this daycare. There are countless families that want to keep investing in their future in the area. And it is an immense strength of our community that we have so much around us. We are the families that these businesses depend on, and safe accessibility is all we want. We are not being alarmist. We are simply asking that safety efforts match the scale of expansion that we are seeing here. This signal needs to happen. What I'm worried about is the weeks and months of ongoing close calls and near misses. There are plenty of schools along this stretch of road running north and south that have appropriate speed and pedestrian control. This area should be no different. Please, please consider this. Thank you.
Next will be Abdirzik Ibrahim, followed by Alicia Satini. Abdirzik is here in person.
Good evening, councils. My name is Abdirzik Ibrahim. I just want to share with you guys the budget 2025 to 2026. I live Glendale since 1998, especially west side of Salt Lake City. I'm just really concerning the community, like refugees and immigrants, the local community, including homeless people west side. For example, we don't have like high school in Glendale. We have a lot of youth going to east side all the time. And also we don't have like hospital. If somebody happened middle of the night, so we have to drive to all the way down to 12 mile on the west side, on the southern east side, or all the way down to the Muri. And then that's a challenge, we've been facing so many years, We have a lot of kids living from west side to east side, and then that's the big challenge, We've been facing, our communities been asking us, each others, why it's so locked to west side. The funding, it's coming from west side. We don't know where it's going to, especially the airport is Salt Lake City in the west side. All the manufacturing in the west side. The money is coming from west side. Especially, I want to give you some example. I've been working the airport, like parking. 1 year, they just collected like 50 million. I don't know what the money going to. So all the money coming from west side, I don't know what happened. Even we don't have like enough trees on west side. For example, the summertime, our communities, when the summer time comes, all they're going to the east side because there is no enough trees so they can lay down on west side. And then there was another grant, I don't know, they said that this grant has to be outdoor. The refugees and immigrants, they have a business, but their business is indoor. I've been speaking like last 10 years, even we don't have like enough housing on west side, affordable housing, especially our communities, refugees and immigrants, they have a large family. And then the housing they're building is not going to cover, it's not going to fit their family size. We've been speaking.
Next will be Alicia Satini, who's here in person.
Hello, City Councils. Thank you for all your work. The reason I'm here today is my dear brother here gave me a call and said, hey, I need some advocacy. And so the reason why I'm here, I've been in the west side of Salt Lake City now over 20 years plus. I've raised my family here. And of course, all the issues that Abdirzik has mentioned, a lot of you are aware of it. And so I think I'm here to plea for I'm their constituents. And so I'm here to plea because the funding that the budget that's being cut, there's a lot of safety issues on the west side. We talk about the homeless issues. We could talk till our faces are blue, but it's up to you guys to advocate and to be able to put the money where it needs to go. Safety issues, the homeless is that's a big issue. The prostitution, I have kids. The safety issue, I've mentioned it, Mayor's aware of it. The healthcare issues, we know that there's a lot of healthcare issues on the west side, still no hospital. This is something that I've brought up to Sandra Hollins. She's aware of it, and I'm just bringing it up to your attention again. We're constantly being overlooked. It's hard. I understand. It's very hard, the issues on the west side, but that's why we trusted all of you to be here in your seats, because we know you guys know the issues and that you guys are trusted individuals to place the money where it needs to be. But just looking to your support, again, appreciate all that you guys do for us, and if we can have some more support from you city councils for the refugee, the communities of color, just because, as you mentioned, the housing issues, these are large families. I have 5 kids of my own. I'm in a home, I own a home, so it's a little bit different. I'm not in that.
And that was the final register commenter.
Thank you all of those that share their comment today. And we have also not new business today.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
May I have a personal privilege?
Councilmember Young.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to quickly address my neighbor who came and spoke about the need for the Hawkwatch signal. This is something that I want to amplify your voice and say that you are one of at least 30 different residents who has reached out over the past 12 months and has been working with the city in terms of trying to figure out what kinds of options we have for us as we've been looking at the larger plan related to CIP. I also want to call out, because it truly is on behalf of some of your fellow neighbors who put together a capital improvement project proposal that they've been working with the city on since last fall, and point to the mayor's office in terms of the fact that you guys were, wonderful in really having to vet a lot of different needs across the city, but have prioritized this for funding as we look ahead to being able to approve those projects. So I just wanted an opportunity to amplify, like I said, the need. I know it's something we as council will have the opportunity to discuss, but it truly is an incredibly dangerous intersection, one of many across the city, but this is one where we're in a place to be able to do something about it, and I look forward to having that conversation. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. It really is always very concerning when we see so many neighbors bringing about, this very scary situations. Moving on the agenda, unfinished business. Item K1 is an ordinance for the North Point area annexation, and I need a motion.
Chair, I move that the council adopt an ordinance annexing certain unincorporated properties northeast of the Salt Lake International Airport and near the Salt Lake County border with Davis County pursuant to ordinance and maps included in Attachment A. I further move that the council adopt a legislative action requesting the administration to review the property at approximately 2699 West, 3300 North for potential rezoning to M1A.
Second.
I have a motion on the table by Councilmember Petro and a second by Councilmember Lopez Chavez. Is there any discussion on this item? I want to highlight the amount of work that many of you have done in the administration and the council staff to move this along. I want to thank the community partners, that raised concerns and they brought up some of their issues. I have a motion on the table. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? This motion carries unanimously. Now we are moving to the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion by Councilmember Wharton and a second by Councilmember Petro. Is there any discussion on this? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. This motion carries unanimously, and this concludes the Salt Lake City Council meeting, formal meeting, and now we stand adjourned.